My name is Margaret Winthrop, and this is my Who Am I video. I was born May 30th, 1995, to two very loving parents, John and Marianne Winthrop. I have three siblings that were adopted from Ukraine, Katerina, Oksana, and Dmitry. My parents adopted them when I was 10, and that was a life-changing experience for me. Going from an only child to being one of four was a huge adjustment for me, but I'm glad that it happened. I also have three birth siblings, Lacey, Allie, and my baby brother Michael. I am lucky enough to stay in touch with my birth family, and I think that's great. I usually see my birth family once or twice a year, usually around the summertime. My birth parents are divorced, so most of the time I'll stay with my birth dad for a week and then my birth mom for the next week. This is a picture of me, my birth dad, and all his siblings at my uncle's wedding a few years ago. I am also made up of many different nationalities. I'm Irish, British, Scandinavian, French, German, Colombian, Italian, and Native American. I was raised on Long Island and attended the Harborfield Central School District since I was 6 years old. Although I hated high school, the one thing that I did love about it was their music program. Our music program at Harborfields was nothing fancy, but we did have our standard orchestra, band, and choir classes, along with jazz band, vocal ensemble, and marching band. It was in high school that I realized I wanted a career in music. And it was my high school music teacher who inspired me to become a music educator myself. I think what made her a great music teacher was not only that she was able to teach music in choir, but she was able to do it with elementary, middle, and high school level. I can only hope to be able to teach all three school levels. That's definitely been a great dream of mine. One thing not a lot of people know about me is that I love to play guitar, mostly electric guitar, and I often play blues and rock and roll. My guitar teacher often taught me how to play Led Zeppelin songs, and now Led Zeppelin is one of my favorite bands. Playing guitar is a hobby that I don't really share with anybody else. It's something special to me, and something that I like to keep to myself. My absolute favorite band is My Chemical Romance. I discovered them when I was 12 and have been absolutely in love with them ever since. I love all kinds of music, ranging from pop to jazz to rock to classical. Besides music, one of my other passions is art. I love to paint and draw in my spare time. I also have a love for tattoos, and I actually have a tattoo of my own. Of course, being an educator and a music teacher, it's hard to be able to have tattoos, but I can put it in places where people won't see. This one tattoo that I have represents freedom, it represents music, because the robin has one of the prettiest bird songs, and it's also a representation of my grandmother, who passed away when I was 12. Both of my grandmothers were two of the biggest influences in my life. Both of my grandmothers lived with me, but at separate times. The one grandmother that was represented by the bird tattoo I have was my grandmother Betty. She lived with me since I was 6 years old, up until I was 12 when she passed away. My other grandmother was my Grandma Joan. She lived with me when I was 12 until she recently passed away a few months ago. Both of my grandmothers taught me to always be myself no matter what, to always be kind, and to never be afraid. I want to show my students how music can be so empowering and inspirational. Whether it be the classical music they learn in school or the pop music they listen to at home. One of my greater passions within music is conducting. I absolutely love to conduct. I've already taken my 2 required conducting classes here at Westminster with Professor Shelton and Dr. Quist. They were 2 of the greatest experiences that I've ever had, and I wish I could relive them again. One of my first conducting experiences was in high school. My senior year of high school, during our spring semester, I took an independent studies class of conducting. At this point, I knew I wanted to be a choral teacher, and I knew I needed the conducting skills to do so. So I decided to take this class. Taking this class was one of the best things that happened to me. We practiced conducting almost every day after school in a small group of students, and at the end we got to conduct at our spring concert. At our spring concert, I got to conduct a French song called Il est bel et bon. It was a nice song, not one of my favorites, but once I got up there and began to conduct, I finally started to feel the power of the music coming through me and into the choir and out to the audience. That was a life-changing experience, and I wish I could feel that again. That feeling of the music just coming through you. I haven't felt it in a long time, and I hope to soon. I was always singing when I was little, even before I could talk. My parents would take me into church, and I would hold the hymnal, usually upside down, and just scream. Technically, that's not singing, but I still enjoyed it and thought I was singing, and everybody thought it was the cutest thing. Around the time I was 6 years old, I joined the children's choir at my church. Later, I joined the choir at my elementary school, and I was always singing since then. I always loved singing when I was younger, but I didn't realize it was my passion up until high school. My parents always knew that I liked to sing, but until high school, they didn't even know how well I could sing. One day when I was having a voice lesson in my house, my mom and my grandma were both eavesdropping on me singing, and apparently started crying. I think it was then that I realized how much music can really affect someone. Here's one of my favorite quotes about music. The fact that music can induce goosebumps, draw a tear, inspire, and connect is one of my favorite parts of being a human, by Mark Hoppus. The fact that music is so powerful that it can impact us emotionally is one of the things that I absolutely love about music. During fall orientation week here at Westminster, me and my orientation group decided to go out to lunch at a Chinese restaurant just down the street. We went there, we had fun, and we chatted, and at the end, of course, we all got fortune cookies. For my friend, Holly, it was a tradition for him to pick a fortune for a friend, and the friend picks a fortune for him. So he picked my fortune, and I picked his. And my fortune said, "Those who wish to sing always find a song." I think that was a sign that I was meant to be here, that I was meant to become a music educator, specifically a choral teacher, and that I was meant to sing. I don't know if you believe in signs, but I definitely do, and I know for a fact that that was a sign. So that's basically who I am in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed my Who Am I video. Thanks for watching.